Are you always busy, but still not getting anywhere? What if I told you that being busy isn't productive at all, and that the harder you push, the more stuck you might actually become? Because today, we're unmasking one of the most powerful psychological traps in modern life. It's called the busy trap, and once you see it, you won't be able to ignore it. We live in a world that confuses movement with progress. If you're replying to messages, answering emails, jumping between tasks, attending meetings, scrolling through information, you feel productive. But that feeling is a psychological illusion. Your brain is getting tiny dopamine hits from constant activity. It feels like you're doing something important, but in reality, you're often just reacting. And reaction is not progress. Solution layer. This is why one of the first ways to escape the busy trap is to limit how often you react. Instead of constantly checking notifications, schedule 2 or 3 specific times per day when you respond. The rest of your time belongs to focused work. This immediately restores mental control. Modern society trains us to always be on. If you're not busy, you feel guilty. If you rest, you feel lazy. If you slow down, you feel like you're falling behind. So we fill every empty moment. We work more. We multitask. We stay connected. We stay distracted. And yet, despite all that effort, people feel more anxious, more exhausted, and more stuck than ever. That's not a coincidence. Solution layer. High performers build intentional pauses into their day. Even 5 minutes of silence resets the nervous system. When you pause, you move from survival mode back into thinking mode. Psychologists have discovered something disturbing. The human brain mistakes activity for achievement. When you check things off a list, your brain releases dopamine. That chemical makes you feel accomplished. But dopamine doesn't care whether the task actually matters. It just cares that something happened. So you could spend all day being busy and still make zero meaningful progress in your life. Solution layer. Instead of to-do lists, use impact lists. Each day, write down only the 1 to 3 things that would actually move your life forward. Everything else is optional noise. Social media makes this worse. Everywhere you look, you see people grinding, posting about hustle, showing off productivity, highlighting long hours and packed schedules. So you start to believe that success looks like exhaustion. But what you're really seeing is performance, not progress. Solution layer. Limit your exposure to hustle content. Your brain copies what it sees. When you stop consuming frantic energy, your mind naturally becomes calmer and clearer. Here's the hidden cost of the busy trap. When you're constantly switching tasks, your brain never enters deep focus. Your creativity drops. Your problem-solving weakens. Your memory gets worse. You become mentally tired, but not mentally fulfilled. This is why burnout happens. Not because you worked too hard, but because you worked without meaning. Solution layer. Block 1 uninterrupted focus session per day, even just 45 minutes. No phone, no tabs, just one meaningful task. This single habit dramatically increases output and mental satisfaction. The busy trap also destroys strategic thinking. When you're always reacting, you stop planning. You stop reflecting. You stop asking important questions like, is this worth my time? Is this moving me closer to the life I want? Or am I just staying occupied? Busy people don't make long-term decisions. They survive short-term chaos. Solution layer. Once a week, take 15 minutes to ask yourself, what should I stop doing? Not what should I add? What should I remove? Progress comes from subtraction. And there's another uncomfortable truth. Many people stay busy because they are afraid. Afraid of failing. Afraid of choosing wrong. Afraid of facing the big questions about their life. So they hide in small tasks. Emails feel safe. Meetings feel safe. Busy work feels safe. Big goals don't. So the busy trap becomes emotional protection. Solution layer. Pick one uncomfortable goal and work on it first every day. Before messages. Before chores. Before distractions. This retrains your brain to face fear instead of fleeing into busyness. Now let's talk about something powerful. High achievers are not the busiest people. They're the most selective people. They protect their time. They eliminate low-value tasks. They say no to almost everything because they understand something most people don't. Energy is limited. Attention is limited. And every yes is a hidden no. Real productivity is not about doing more. It's about doing what actually matters. And what actually matters usually feels uncomfortable. It requires focus. It requires thinking. It requires risk, which is why most people avoid it. Here's the psychology of deep work. When you concentrate on one meaningful task, your brain enters a state called flow. This is where learning speeds up, creativity increases, performance peaks. But flow can't happen in chaos. It only happens in silence. Solution layer. Create one daily no interruption zone. Phone off, notifications off, one task only. This trains your brain to go deep again. This is why strategic rest is not laziness. Your brain solves problems when it's relaxed. Your best ideas come when you stop forcing them. Your nervous system needs recovery to perform well. The world rewards burnout, but your mind rewards balance. Solution layer. Take short walks. Sit quietly. Let your brain breathe. This isn't wasting time, it's multiplying it. So let's redefine success. Success is not how busy you look. It's how much impact you create. It's not about filling your calendar. It's about moving your life. When you stop chasing busyness, you start chasing clarity. And clarity changes everything. If this video made you rethink how you work, rest, and live, subscribe for more psychology-driven self-improvement. Because the people who win in modern life aren't the busiest. They're the most intentional. And now you know why.